The Ganymede checkpoint hummed with the artificial warmth of recycled air, a stark contrast to the minus 160 degrees Celsius surface outside. Jassy adjusted the thermal regulator on her collar, watching the bioscan queue inch forward. Beside her, Daniel clutched his backpack tighter, his 9-year-old knuckles white against the synthetic fabric. "Mom," he whispered, "the guards are quantum-linked." Jassy's blood ran cold. She placed a hand on his shoulder, squeezing once their signal for silence. The boy shouldn't know what quantum linking was, let alone be able to identify it. But then again, Daniel shouldn't know about many things. That was the problem. The line moved. 3 people ahead? 2 guards flanked the neural scanner, their movements synchronized with unsettling precision. Standard Europa Security Force uniforms. But Jassy noticed the telltale shimmer at their temple subdermal qubit processors. They weren't just communicating. They were sharing a distributed consciousness across the checkpoint's entire security grid. Daniel's fingers moved inside his backpack. Through the gap, Jassy glimpsed the Devisa palm-sized cube of non-Euclidean geometry that hurt to look at directly. The Tesseract resonance scanner? She'd stolen it from the I.O. research station 3 weeks ago, minutes before the facility went dark. 27 scientists dead, officially from reactor breach. Unofficially, from discovering something humanity wasn't supposed to know. "Daniel, no," she breathed, but he'd already activated it. The cube didn't emit light or sound, nothing so crude. Instead, it collapsed local spacetime in microscopic intervals, reading the quantum states of matter within a 50-meter radius. To anyone watching, Daniel was just a nervous kid fidgeting with a toy. To Jassy, who'd spent 6 years developing quantum archaeology techniques, it was like watching her son detonate a bomb in slow motion. The scanner's data streamed directly to the custom-built glasses. Daniel wore prescription lenses, according to the fake medical records, but actually a heads-up display showing quantum signatures. His eyes widened. "Mom, they're not human." "I know, baby." "Keep walking." 2 ahead. The woman in front of them placed her palm on the bioscan panel. Green light. She passed through. The guards didn't move, didn't blink. Their synchronization was perfect to perfect. Biological organisms always showed microsecond variations in neural firing. These didn't. "No," Daniel whispered, studying the data. "You don't understand? They're not cyborgs or androids. They single quotes read ... DOS. Jassy's training screamed at her to abort, to grab Daniel and run. But there was nowhere to run. The checkpoint sealed automatically during processing. Behind them, more guards. Ahead, the scanner and its quantum-linked operators. "Echoes of what?" she asked, keeping her voice steady for Daniel's sake. "Of people who already passed through. Look," he tilted the screen toward her. The quantum signature showed temporal displacement markers, causality loops folded back on themselves. The guards weren't just linked across space. They were linked across time. Past versions of checkpoint visitors, their consciousness patterns recorded and repurposed, one ahead. An elderly man with mining colony calluses fumbled with his ID chip. The guards waited, patient as death. The scanner read him, archived him, let him pass. Soon it would be their turn. JASSIE made a decision. "Daniel, can that scanner spoof quantum states?" The boy's eyes lit up with terrible understanding. "The Heisenberg compensator isn't designed for, can it?" He nodded slowly. "If I invert the resonance field, maybe? But Mom, if I make a mistake, we'll undergo quantum decoherence. Our wave functions will, I know what will happen." She'd written 3 papers on consciousness transfer before her work was classified. Before she learned what the government was really doing with her research. "Can you copy their signature pattern?" Daniel's fingers flew across the cube's surface, manipulating variables that shouldn't exist in 3-dimensional space. The device pulled data from the guards, their quantum entanglement signature, the specific configuration of superposed states that identified them as authorized nodes in the security network. "Got it," Daniel whispered. "But it's incomplete. I can only hold it for maybe 20 seconds before decoherence." "That's enough." On my mark, they stepped forward. The bioscan panel glowed, waiting. Jassy placed her palm against it, feeling the needle prick of DNA sampling, the electromagnetic pulse that read her brainwave patterns. Beside her, Daniel did the same. The system processed. Cross-referenced. Found discrepancies. The guards moved. Now. Jassy said. Daniel activated the spoof. The Tesseract resonance scanner projected their copied quantum signature outward, overlaying it onto their own wave functions. For 20 seconds, they existed in superposition, simultaneously themselves and authorized security nodes, both passing through and already having passed through. Observers and observed collapsed into a single probability state. The guards froze. Their quantum-linked consciousness detected its own signature pattern, creating a paradox their distributed network couldn't resolve. They were being told that Jassy and Daniel were both threats and trusted operators simultaneously. The contradiction propagated through their shared neural substrate at the speed of quantum entanglement. The bioscan panel flickered. Green. They walked through, behind them. The guards rebooted, their consciousness reassembling from backup states. It would take 7 seconds, long enough for Jassy and Daniel to reach the departure gates, to board the transport that would take them to Mars, then Earth. Then, anywhere the government's quantum surveillance grid couldn't follow. As they hurried down the corridor, Daniel looked up at his mother. Why are they doing this? Why turn people into echoes? Jassy thought about the O station, about her colleagues who discovered that human consciousness wasn't unique to humans, that it was a pattern, endlessly repeatable, infinitely exploitable. She thought about governments and corporations that would kill to control that technology. Because, baby, she said, pulling him closer as they ran, they learned consciousness is just information, and information can be copied, stored, used. They're building something, a network where everyone who passes through becomes part of the system forever. But we got through. We did. She smiled grimly. And tomorrow we're going to tell everyone how. Behind them. In the checkpoint, the guards resumed their eternal vigil, scanning travelers, archiving souls, building an empire one quantum state at a time. But somewhere in their shared consciousness, a glitch remained, an impossible memory of a woman and a boy who shouldn't have been able to pass through. A memory that proved the system could be beaten. And that Jassy knew was the most dangerous information of all.